The tour is back on. I got a question for you. Are you living life, or is life living you? How bad do you want to be successful? Are you ready to level up in life? Are you ready to go to that next level? Are you sick of being average? I ask you again, are you living life, or is life living you? Blessed and unstoppable, the international world tour. Dr. Billy Alsbrooks, coming to a city near you. I'll be teaching a 4-hour, life-changing seminar on the art of greatness. Arise, champion. Every city will sell out. Get your tickets now. We are kicking the tour back off June 14th in Los Angeles, California. We are coming to 20 cities between now and the end of the year. And we ain't stopping there. We're taking a message to Europe, October 25th, London. Get your tickets now at blessedandunstoppable.com. True prayer is visualizing, believing, and aligning with God's promises in such a way that it allows those promises to actually manifest. Now, no obstacle can stand in the way of a person whose mind is truly unified with God. Now, I have a vision in my mind for the way I want my life to look. And then there's this illusion that doesn't align with that vision. And the war is over these two different outcomes. Now me, I refuse to let go of that one that I'm holding in my mind, that one of being the greatest of all time. I refuse to accept being second. I refuse to entertain thoughts of being second. And I refuse to acknowledge that second even exists for me. I refuse to concede to any other outcome but being the greatest of all time. I did not come to be good at what I do. I did not come to be an all-star, to be MVP, to be in the Hall of Fame. I came to be the best that has ever done this. We give birth to a life equivalent to the mind state that we live through. So I have taken up residency in a place called excellence. And every thought I have, every word I speak, and every action I take is aligned with the vision that I see in my mind. Doubt produces nothingness. Destiny yields to the disciplined mind. So I starve the illusion and feed my dream. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I distort reality, and with my mind I bend, I shape, I mold, and I sculpt every aspect of my life until it looks like my dream. I'm coming to be the greatest of all time. Nothing can stand in my way. I will either achieve my outcome, I will either reach and obtain my goal, or I will die trying. There is no other option for me. I came to be the greatest, so I will grind every single day until you give me what I came for. Doubt produces nothingness. Destiny yields to the disciplined mind. Distort reality. I starve the illusion and feed my dream. I've been knocked down, I've been knocked out, and I've been written off. And none of that has deterred me from pursuing the greatness on the inside of me. You see, greatness made me, therefore greatness is in me. You said I'd be nothing. You said I was just a dreamer, living in La La Land, that my goals, my dreams, and my ambitions only happen in books or movies, that it's not real. But I'm about to give you a lesson and display to you the power of the mind, to show you my PhD in grind, an alumni of Grind University with a major in perseverance. Now there's two things in life. There's the promises of God and the illusions and lies of everything else. And as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, and I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and I will make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Now that promise is available to anybody. But the difference in me and the rest is I actually believe that. The only thing that I am second to is God. I get up every day and I dominate. I master the small things, the details, knowing that eventually the big things in life will come bow to me. I am an overcomer. I am a soldier. I am a warrior. I am a champion. I am a king. I am the greatest of all time. You ask me why I'm so sure of my victory. It's because I have fought the battle in my mind 1,000,000 times. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Everything in life has a required mental vibrational level of thought in order for it to be understood. And to walk in truth is to vibrate at the highest level of human existence. Truth is the couture for greatness. Trials and tribulations stand not a chance against a man who will not quit. I am not scared of the word no. I do not bow to rejection. I will not accept defeat. I am deaf, blind, and mute to losing. Therefore, losing cannot exist. The physical realm always responds and obeys the mental state that you project. I did not come to be good, to be an all-star, to be the MVP, to be in the Hall of Fame. I came to be the best that's ever done this. People told me the dream I was dreaming was a fantasy, that things like that only happen in books and in movies. So I responded by wrapping myself in fire, my passion, and fully committing myself to the vision I saw in my mind. I wrote the book, became the movie, and now I live the life they call a fairy tale. The greatest of all time. This is Billy Alsbrooks, and I am blessed and unstoppable. And to God be the glory.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here. Mama, God still moves. She said, wherever you go, Billy, make sure you say God still moves. You tell him. So I'm going to tell him, right? How many believe God still moves in here? I'm in the right place. I'm Billy Alsbrooks, motivational speaker, author, former music artist, songwriter, producer, on-air radio personality. Now I serve God. Ooh, about to get it in. This is the first city right here, 40-city tour for the Blessed and Unstoppable. We're taking it global. And God put a vision in me of reaching 1 billion people. I'm coming to get it all. I'm greedy in faith, knowing God will do what he has put in me to do. And he'll do the same for you. Now listen, I want to ask y'all a question to start this thing off. Are you living life, or is life living you? When you leave here, you're going to be different than when you came. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. The struggle is real. How many know the struggle in life is real? But so is the God that'll help you overcome. God still moves, and it's going to happen. Okay? Now, let's get started. Y'all ready to get started? Okay. Decisions ignite the explosion of change. So here today, I hope and I pray in full faith for every single one of you in here that you decide to take the path that God gave you. Because greatness is on the inside of each and every one of you out here. Greatness made you, therefore greatness is in you. Now on the left, right, is that lukewarm existence, that 9 to 5 just going through the motions, I'm not living stuff that the world tries to tell us this is how your life should be. And on the right is greatness, is fire, is truth. This is where the living is. Deep is where the living is. I know y'all heard the video, right? Come on now. Now my job here today is to help you get to that deepest where the living is. How many people in here want to live, really live? Now what I want you to do is decide. I gave you these packets today. Inside those packets, there's a success contract. How many want to be successful in here? Let's commit. Let me ask a better question. How many ready to commit to being successful? Now, when I get done, I'm not trying to sell you no program, bro. When I say y'all want to commit, I'm talking about y'all. So rest assured, I ain't going to say you nothing. I just want to give this word that God gave me and help you become the best person you can be. Can everybody in here say, level up? Level up. We're going to level up today. Anybody ready to go to that next level in life? Yeah. Vision is the genesis of all greatness. It all starts, whatever you want, you got to build it first in your mind. There's so much power in here, but so little of us actually use the power we have. Now, the enemy's goal and objective is to wear you down doing something you weren't designed to do every single day of your life so that you have no time to do what God called you to do the things you love, where you can actually be successful, actually be free, actually be healthy, actually be able to help somebody else. That's his objective. If you don't have a vision, you're walking around in a state of chaos. But vision is power. Vision is magnetic, will attract, draw to you, create circumstances that will manifest itself. Whoever in the room has got the strongest vision commands the room. That's why one of my buddies said back there, I've already got the job. The world responded. There's three things in the world, okay? There's the canvas, the screen. There's the projector. And then there's the source that comes through. Okay, the source that comes through, that's God. That's his word, what he says we have. The blessings, the anointing, the things on the inside of us, our true DNA, our true identity. Now that comes through here onto here. This is the way it's supposed to work. But most of the world, 99% of the world has this flipped. And the world is the projector telling you what you aren't, or what you can't do, and what you weren't designed for. You didn't come from money. You don't have the right background. You're not the right color. You too small. You too fat. You too short. Whatever. This is the enemy giving us that vision. See, when we come out the womb, we know exactly who we are. We've been in the presence of God, our maker. We know when we come out, we know our name, our destiny, our calling, our gifts, our power. But as soon as the doctor hits us on the back, the world starts hitting them lies. You can't play baseball at the next level, friend. This is what they're trying to tell you, the world. And you know what? They tell us that so long. Your school teachers, your grade school, your coaches, you're not fast enough, you're not big enough, whatever. We succumb to that after being bombarded over and over and over. We get what I call spiritual amnesia. We forget who we are. But today I'm here ringing the alarm. Wake up! God got a plan for you. Greatness is in you. Greatness made you. Arise, champion. Let's get it.
I got a question for you. Are you living life, or is life living you? How bad do you want to be successful? Are you ready to level up in life? Are you ready to go to that next level? Are you sick of being average? I ask you again, are you living life, or is life living you? Blessed and unstoppable, the international world tour. Dr. Billy Alsbrooks, coming to a city near you. I'll be teaching a 4-hour, life-changing seminar on the art of greatness. Arise, champion. Every city will sell out. Get your tickets now. Miami, LA, Chicago, New York, Houston, Phoenix. Be there. Get your tickets now at billyalsbrooks.com/events.
December 17th, 12:30 in the morning. I get that call that nobody wants to get. You know what I'm talking about. Something wrong with your family, that kind of call. My uncle called. I see the number pop up on the phone. I'm like, ooh, this ain't good. So I hesitate a little bit. I pick the phone up. Hello. He's like, Billy, I got some bad news for you. He said, your daddy's had a stroke, and it's not looking good. We need you up here in Alabama right now. So me, my wife, my little dog, Half Pint, we pack up the luggage and bag in 30 minutes. We on the road. We got this 12-hour drive back to Alabama where he was at. Get to the hospital room, and it's just like my uncle said, it is bad. He's in the ICU with all the stuff plugged up, beeping, beep, 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 all that. High blood pressure all over the place. They can't control, can't give him medicine because he's had a stroke, all this stuff. Can't speak right. When he speaks, he's jargling everything. That's what happens with the stroke. Couldn't use his right arm, right leg, nothing. So I'm sitting there, by the bedside. Life don't prepare you for that. They don't teach you that in grade school, how to deal with this. This is called the struggle. So I jump back to what I know. I got to get my daddy better. We're going to get up out of here. Ain't nobody going to tell me different. My daddy started getting better for 9 days. They finally moved him out of ICU into this rehabilitation place, trying to get his arm and leg back, so he could start moving now. Still couldn't talk, any of that. The 12th day, go over to the nursing home, the rehabilitation center, and the doctor's like, it might be a good idea to roll your dad out in the wheelchair and get him outside. Let him see the sunlight, because he's been cooped up 12 days. We got to get him moving. But little did we know, there was a blood clot in his leg. So me and the nurse, we picking my dad up out of the bed and go to put him in the wheelchair. And by doing that, we dislodged that clot and went straight to his lungs, and he began to struggle breathing. He starts acting funny. I tell the nurse, and she said, oh, nothing's wrong. He's just weak from laying around. I was like, no, I know my daddy. Something wrong with daddy. Look in the eyes. I know my daddy's eyes. So we in this ambulance, and we on the way back to the hospital. Daddy getting worse, daddy getting worse, daddy getting worse. Get to the hospital. Paramedics roll him into the room, plug him up to the machines, and he leave. They're not in the room. Now, the hospital people hadn't got there yet. He turned it over to the hospital, but they weren't in there. My daddy, as soon as we get in there, crash. And paramedics, the doctors come in, all that. They panicking, loud sounds, flatlining, all that. I get out of there, walk down the hall. See, and they'd put the family, all of us, in this little side room in the emergency room. They don't put you in the main lobby when something really goes on. They stick your family in this little side room. So, if you're crying or whatever, you can have some privacy. So we quiet in there. But I'd already seen what I didn't want to see. Doctor comes in. He says, son, I'm sorry to tell you, dad is gone. Now, right there, I hit the floor and had my first full-blown panic attack. See, now, I would never want to go back to that day in a million years, and I never want any one of y'all to experience that either. But I would not be here today if that had not happened. God started moving. 2 days later, we go to the funeral home. My grandmother had bought these plots, 4 plots, one for her, my grandfather, who was already gone, my daddy, and me. Funeral director, first thing we get over there, he said, come on, I want to show you where I'm going to lay your daddy. We go out there. He said, there's where your grandmother's going to lay. There's where your granddaddy is. Here's where your daddy's going to be. And here's where you're going to be. Now, mind you, I just seen what that really meant 2 days before. So we don't really know what death is. Like, I rapped about that stuff for years. I knew people that had been murdered and shot and killed and even seen all that, but for some reason it never registered that I was going to have to go through that. We start thinking we Superman. That ain't going to happen to me, right? So we walk back into the funeral home. He said, I got a few questions so we can make the arrangements. He's like, what would you want on your daddy's headstone? What do you want written in his obituary? Now, when I was growing up, my dad was an alcoholic. He wasn't a violent drunk. He actually got docile, which, the opposite when he drink. But he had an issue. His whole family had an issue. All my uncles, my grandfather, they had different types. Some of them were violent drunks. Other ones were funny drunks. My dad was just struggling with it. If he had one drop, that was it. He'd be drunk for the next 3 weeks and not be able to come out of it. He would drink until he passed out, sleep for 10 hours, wake up still drunk, drink again, and just keep that straight up for 3 weeks. No job, no working, no nothing, just drinking. And this would be 2 weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time. Now, 2 weeks, just like that, he'd sober up and then be sober for 3 months. Then come home one day with that glare in his eyes, and that was it. That day he'd start again. He just did this cycle for years. until my senior year. My mother didn't know what else to do with him because he just was not responding. And me and him started having this conflict. Like, I'm like, you know, if you love me, you'll stop drinking. If you love mama, you'll stop drinking. But it's a disease. I didn't know that. See, I didn't understand that. But finally, my senior year, my mother divorced him. And on that day, he never drank again. The last 15 years of his life, he was sober. He got sober, then he went out to the prisons, to the jails, to the hospitals. He helped people get off addiction just like he did. He do these meetings, all of that. It's kind of funny because the last conversation I had with him on the phone before he had the stroke, he was asking me to go to jail with him when he went to speak. And I'm like, I ain't going to jail. I'm still in the street like the rap. Man, I ain't going over there. We trying to stay out. He's like, well, I tell them all the time about you rapping. They all excited to come. I don't care. It's funny because I was there 3 days ago at the prison speaking to 247 wall in there. And see, my mind began to change. He's out there. People get up there and start talking. One guy says, well, you know, your daddy came and got me on the side of the road at 12:30 in the morning when I was drunk and nobody had come pick me up. Another one said, your daddy bailed me out of jail at 4 in the morning. When my whole family had given up on me, your daddy didn't give up on me. He came and got me. Another one said, me and my wife was at the kitchen table with the divorce papers there, about to sign, and your daddy said no. And we still together 10 years later. Well, I'm sitting there in a chair just like this, and I'm like, the strangest thing. Ain't nobody mentioned all the stuff I've been chasing in that rap life. The money, the cars, and all that. Nobody said, well, your daddy had nice rims. Nobody said that. Boy, you should have seen how your daddy be blinging. Nobody said that. Boy, your daddy used to make it rain. Nobody said that. I'm like, hold on, I got this backwards. Remember? Here, Billy, this is where you gon' lay. I realized right then I had to change some things. I realized life was about legacy. The only real worth you have is what you sow and leave into others. That's it. Are you rich or are you broke? Let me ask you that question right now. How much you sowing into those around you? See, that's the real wealth. Now, I'm not against money, listen, at all. Because we will lend to many nations and not borrow. God said, we got it. Remember the Lord thy God, for it is him that gives you the power to gain wealth. We got it. We the head, not the tail. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed when we come, blessed when we go. I understand that. But people first, then money. And the money's only to support people, to make a difference. See, growth, victory always comes with a struggle. The struggle is real, but so is the God that will help you overcome it.
Your mouth is a creative weapon. It's not a tool for distributing excuses. The first sign of a loser is an excuse. Champions take full responsibility, good or bad, for their outcomes. Tell the world one time what you're gonna do, and that's it. Spend less time talking and more time grinding. Think like a champion. Speak like a champion. And then walk it out. Grind 120 all day, every day. Stop making excuses. Champions make adjustments, not excuses. Every time you justify being average, you invite in the enemy. Mediocrity is a dream killer. Your coach, your trainer, your teacher, your boss is not the problem. It's your consistency. You gotta make a decision. How bad do you want it? Average is on the left. Success is on the right. You gotta choose which one you want.
Billy, I just want to let you know that we're very blessed to have you here today. You know, it's been a long time coming. I've been listening to videos for months now at the gym and in my personal life. It's been helping me a lot, and your passion to God to turn your life around. You're really a role model for all of us at Bonner Griffin. So I'm really glad that you're here.
Thank you, man.
We'll learn so much from you, man. Tell me a little bit about what you can tell us about your past, because you went through some dark side, and we all do, myself and everybody. How can you come out? What's some of the things you can tell anybody to get out of the darkness, basically?
Well, basically, you got to change the vision that you see in your mind. You got to get a vision for the victory. For some of them watching might know my story, but I rapped 17 years, was in the music business, had a big void on the inside that I tried to fill with the world, the money, the fame, the women, all of the accolades, all that stuff. I tried to fill my life with that. And no matter how high I went, I felt even more empty. Chasing the wrong things will take you to the wrong place. And that's what I was doing for years. And the turning point of my life was when my dad passed away in front of me. Then I knew life was precious. I knew life was real. Before that time, I thought, nothing, when you're young, you're bold, you're a risk taker, all this stuff. You think, hey, I got the, rest of my life. I don't need to worry about anything. And then boom, life hits you, with a blind shot, knocks you down on the mat. But in that dark time, man, I found myself, and it's like when there's a moment of desperation, that's God's invitation to come in. And I invited him in because I was at the end of me, and I said, this is how my life is going to be. It's going to be this dark cycle every single day unless you come in and hear me, because I don't know what to do. I've done everything the doctors told me to do. I've done everything the therapist told me to do. I've read every book that I could get my hands on, and I'm still here. I don't know what else to do. And I made a pact with God. I said, if you heal me of this, I will go out and I will tell the world who did it.
Blessed and unstoppable. Success starts with putting the right things into your mind. And my new book, Blessed and Unstoppable, was strategically designed to align your mind with the laws of success. This curriculum will teach you the inner mechanics required to go from average to phenomenal, from living a life with limits to being blessed and unstoppable. As you follow this guide step by step, amazing breakthroughs will happen. New doors of opportunity will open, and favor will begin to chase you down. Blessed and Unstoppable is a 31-day devotional on the laws of success. This book will instigate the thought process and actions required to transform your life. Each day has a Bible verse, a teaching on that day's principle, a positive affirmation, a prayer for the day, self-assessment questions, success quotes, action steps, and a powerful inspirational message. Regardless of what field you're in, Blessed and Unstoppable is your blueprint for success. Get your copy at blessedandunstoppable.com. Also available on Amazon.